So let's go inside my greenhouse here. Okay. Deep in the heart of Texas. Some olive trees, some tools, you know. Nothing fancy. Made out of scraps and a couple of YouTube checks. YouTube checks took care of the roof and whatnot. So, but I always have citrus in here this time of the year. So my job today is to pick this citrus and to bag it up and put it in the fridge. And I'm going to enjoy this. Citrus is very important. Yes, you are a very handsome bird, okay? You got mandarin oranges right here. I've got some navel oranges. You know, and this is a first-year tree. This is what I call producing for the first year. So I've got to do some maintenance on there. I've got to take care of it. You got healthy trees. You keep them protected, and they'll do you just right. That said, here in Central Texas, people ask me, Johnny, why don't you plant those outside? Well, I learned my lesson. You don't do that here in Central Texas because we have snap freezes. It's 80 degrees, and then the next thing you know, it's below 32. So I'm going to pick these, and of course, I got lemons. Well, you can see all that. Lemons, these are pink lemons right here. This was a tree that was given to me because she got kind of frozen, and I've got her blooming again inside the greenhouse, okay? Got some grapefruits I got to pick. Again, more lemons back there. Show you the size of these lemons here. My hand, okay? So the size of my lemons. All right? And don't you know people are willing to pay me good money for these things? You know, but I'm going to pick these, bag them up, and separate them. So hold on. This, again, just a homemade greenhouse. Nothing fancy. Like I said, scraps and a couple of YouTube checks take care of this. 16 by 16. 16 feet by 16 feet. By the way, if you have a better way of doing this, please fill me in because I'm an amateur at this. But if I'm growing my own food, that means I'm doing something right. So I have people tell me just pull them off when they're ready. But I prefer to get over here and just snip them off. Use my Gerber. Okay. It doesn't matter what you have. I prefer this one. And I'll just snip them off. Okay. And, I don't know, bag them up then. So this is my rooster. This is my harvest. So I got lemons. I got pink lemons. And yes, you cut these open. They're pink. I've got grapefruit. Now, this is my first year for grapefruit, so they're kind of small. But you know what? They're going to be just as tasty. And I got some of my oranges. Now, this is not all that the trees are produced. My lemon trees, I don't know if it's the variety or what, but they pretty much produce all year round. You know, but they'll stop for a while because of the temperatures. Again, if you're in Central Texas, you got to greenhouse them. You know, you just can't plant them outside as far as I can. I've tried that. The former Miss Practical did that and killed a few of my trees. But I've noticed when I greenhouse them that they'll start blooming and they'll start producing pretty much all year round. So there's that. Let me show y'all something. Kind of a little warning. You know, people are like, well, I'm going to put them outside anyway. Here's what happens when you do that, when they freeze. This is a lemon tree. You see how these leaves are? They're shaped like that. This is how they're supposed to be shaped, like this. Okay? But notice this has got kind of like a three leaf like this. That leaf is never going to produce, and it's never going to do anything. So I have to take my shears and come cut those off. They like to be a little bit root bound, okay? About every so many years, you need to change the size of your pots. And if you're wondering how tall, they will get tall. And you need to trim them back a little bit, and that's okay. Don't butcher them, though. But like some of these new first ones, some of these were gimmies, and I can't get it to produce. Well, you're not doing something right then. You're either freezing them or something. So in a nutshell, you can do this too. It's not difficult. It takes a little time like everything else. You have to have a good way, like a good dolly or hand truck, whatever you want to call it, to move them. If you're strong enough to pick them up and move them, hallelujah. But safety first, safety always. I have a really good solid hand truck that I use to transport these things around. Central Texas. Now, specifically, I live in kind of the Lampasas County area. That's about 30 miles from Fort Hood. 70 miles away from Austin, Texas, which is a good enough amount of distance for me. They can keep that kind of lifestyle over there. Summertime. These things do not like direct sunlight in Central Texas. Springtime, I keep them out in full sunlight. Summertime, they go underneath the nice tall oak trees and get some shade and everything. And during the winter, again, I greenhouse them. And yes, folks, I do use heat lamps, okay? But any questions, comments, leave them below. For one person, a couple people, this is not bad. You need citrus, vitamin C during this time of the year, the winter years. Alrighty, till I see y'all again, I'm Johnny the Practical Nurse, out here. So you got bacon, which you can either buy from the store, or you can actually trade for. Okay, trust me on that one, especially live out here in the boonies. Eggs, grown right here on my farm. Whatever I don't use to make myself an omelet with today, you know, well, I can just put the lid on there, put them in the fridge, last a couple of days. And oranges that I grew myself. Orange peel, you can do a lot of things with orange peel. I like to rub my hands on them, cleans them up really nice, the acid, and it has a nice little citrusy smell to them.